Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Demon's Crest. I'm Omega Zoltan. Let's enter the town that we were at last time. As you can see, we can exit without actually having to finish the stage, so that's nice. We can break these windows and those big ones. Also, that pot on the left there will always have a 20 coin. So when you're farming, that's pretty much like that's need to know information. You know what I'm saying? This guy will say something to us depending on which form we're at, and he also has something to say to us depending on whether we say we remember or not. I'm gonna do both options eventually. Start with this one. Talks about how we've come back, although he doesn't know it's us for some reason. I'm imagining that we were kind of messed up, and apparently it's been a while. Maybe a year, maybe more, but apparently we've been down in that Coliseum for a while, so story didn't tell us that, but we're gonna have to make do, I guess. This is the shop where you buy spells. There's 5 spells, I believe. We're about to find out, aren't we? Yeah, 5 spells. I'll buy them all eventually. Start with the weakest one, work my way up, and then, you know, get the most ideal ones after that. Shadow decreases the damage that enemies give you, I believe. We'll be using that shortly. Let's see what else this guy has to say if we say we aren't a stranger. It's basically a more casual way of saying that, hey, Firebrand's back, he fought, and it specifies that General Arma is chasing us down, which is pretty cool. This is an area we can't access yet. We'll be able to at the end of the video, though, so let's get on to that. Let's go further on past the village. We end up in the reservoir of sorts. There are ghosts and fire statues and mermen. They're pretty annoying, but what are you gonna do? The water in this game is poisonous to Firebrand. He cannot stay in it without taking damage over time. We'll be able to fix that later in the game, but right now, that's all we can do. Now, there's a little trick. Oh yeah, this is the inventory. We're going to use the damage reducing spell. That's where we go to change our forms. I'll be doing that shortly as well. Those are the potions. Once you equip something, you can never unequip it unless you change it to something else. So that's kind of a weird game mechanic. Alright, so we're going down here. We're going to die, but there's an item here that I really want to get. And it's really useful, and it makes the next hour or so of the game a huge joke. So you can kind of call this cheating. I don't care. You retry. You keep the items you get. It's fair to me, because if the game mechanics allow you to do it, hey, you know, what are you gonna do? Anyways, we're gonna equip that talisman we got. It's called the hand talisman. It'll let you shoot off 2 shots at once, or 3, depending on how fast your actual attack normally is. So for the normal fire attack, we take it off. We can't remove the hand talisman, so we're pretty much stuck like this until we get another talisman, which is kind of lame because I would not have used it, but you know, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. You know, I'm gonna use that shit. Anyways, heading back to where we were, I'm finally gonna show off the ground gargoyle and all of his glory. You go into the menu to equip it. You always have to go into the menu to switch out. This is the ground gargoyle. We'll get rid of that ghost who damaged us and enter the actual level, the Catacombs. The ground gargoyle has like this ground dashing thing. He can dash normally, he can cling to walls with his feet, he can break statues and fountains and walls and stuff. His move sort of dashes around the ground. The most important thing about it, though, is that it does double the damage of the normal Firebrand attack. It's pretty much our best weapon as of yet. If we use it in midair like this, it only does 1 damage, so it's less useful. But it's still useful for getting enemies in midair, but it doesn't go as far as the regular shots. So really, unless you can hit an enemy on the ground, or if you're really close and can do it in quick succession, you're really better off using normal Firebrand. Like here is a great example of that, because we're not going to reach that, and we need to fly over those spikes anyways. So we're just going to pass through here into the next section of level. Got to break this, of course, so our ground gargoyle friend can do that. I don't think there's anything else to say about the ground gargoyle other than that, really. He can, he's also like normal Firebrand, can take damage underwater. This room, the bats that are on the ceiling will only chase you once it's dark. You gotta shoot the candles to keep it light. There's a secret area there. We can't access it yet. We'll be able to in the next video, where we'll be coming back for a quick backtrack session. But until then, we're gonna have to just pipe on through. To progress, you go up, but over here there's a full life, if you can manage to get it. Normal Firebrand cannot shoot that low, unfortunately, so you have to use Earth Firebrand, Earth Gargoyle. Get that full health, even though we didn't need it, but it's nice to have. Those zombies are also kind of tricky. You can only hit them when they like lift their head if you're normal Firebrand. Yeah, those big ghosts are a bit harder to kill. I suggest you just not bother with them, and at this point, just make a run for the door, which is kind of hard to see in the dark and stuff. This is the boss. Its name is Ovnunu. It is a bunch of eyeballs. Kind of reminds me of the boss of Misery Mire from Into the Past. There's a full health in there, and I try to get it, but I kind of mess up, and I don't want to take my chances getting hurt by the boss, so I'm just going to keep going up. And once you reach the top, the actual boss fight begins. I suppose there's a lot of strategies, but my strategy for this boss is to stick on the top there as the Earth Gargoyle, and just, like, pretty much, like, wing it by trying to hit as many of those little eyeballs with the Ground Dasher. Because it does more damage, so, like, you'd be kind of stupid not to use it. And the eyes move in a pattern that's pretty easy to dodge, and they usually move low enough that you can hit them with it. And instead of taking 3 shots, they'll take 2, so it's always useful to have. Now this one's giving me trouble, but I deal with them eventually. Yeah, so until you beat the eyes, this boss is pretty much this. It can be kind of tough though, but not really if you're paying attention. As long as you're good enough to dodge those little eyeballs. As soon as you do though, their mama's coming out, a bit angry. Strategy for this boss is kind of just try to hit him with the Ground Dasher as much as possible, but don't get hit too much by the boss itself, because it will give you like enough damage to be a problem. But he's really like, he takes so little hits because most of the boss fight is condensed into those eyeballs that it really shouldn't be a problem. And he crumbles away, and he gives us the very, very useful, my favorite move of the game until much later in the game, Buster Shot. Piece of the fire crest called Buster. This breaks blocks. It's very fast. You can shoot 3 at once with the hand, 2 at once with without the hand, and we'll be testing it out and seeing what other stuff there is in the village. You'll know I skipped a door at the beginning of the video. This is because the person that is inside that door is a man who will only talk to you if you have talismans, and what he does basically is tell you what each talisman you have equipped does. I'm probably not going to come back to him unless you guys want to, but this is what he says. He says, like, this is the hand, it'll enable you to shoot faster. It says magic more quickly, so as a kid I used to think maybe it made, like, my magic do something. I never knew until, like, 2 years ago about that it just did faster shots. Oh yeah, and he responds to your Earth Gargoyle saying that he's seen armor in it, which is pretty cool. He'll say a different thing with every different gargoyle form, and that's me smashing a fountain to prove what he was saying. He can smash through pots as well. He can't smash through this wall, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to use the Buster to show that shit off. That's what it looks like normally. It's kind of like a green energy swirl, and it breaks through this with significant ease. Let's go in here and check it out. The Black Lotus, the potion shop, the best place. This is also the best potion shop in the game. It's the only potion shop that sells ginseng, which is the best potion in the game. It'll refill your health completely. I'm going to start with the weakest potions and work my way up, like I said, though. So I'm getting a Mercury now, and we'll get something else later. And we're going to get out of here. And next time we'll be going back to the Catacombs, get what we missed, and checking out the second path of this world. See you then.